Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Chem Insider. In the previous class we discussed about hybridization and the types of hybridization, in which we first discussed about the sp hybridization. Now we'll start with the sp2 and sp3 hybridization. So first one was sp hybridization. We have completed that in the previous video itself. Now in the second one, sp2 hybridization. Now for the sp2 hybridization, we can consider an example of boron trichloride. Okay, we can consider an example of boron trichloride. So sp2 hybridization is a kind of hybridization where we observe one s orbital and two p orbitals overlap with one another to undergo hybridization to form three sp3 hybrid orbitals. So now for that particular case, if we consider boron trichloride molecule, we have boron with electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Right? The electronic configuration of boron in the ground state is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. If you write its orbital diagram of the valence shell, so 2 electrons will be present in the 2s orbital and 1 electron will be present in the 2p orbital. In the excited state, one of the 2s electrons get excited to p orbital, leading to the formation of 1 electron in 2s and 2 electrons in 2 of the 2p orbital. So now here we observe the involvement of 1 2s orbital and 2 2p orbitals. Therefore, this particular hybridization is called sp2 hybridization. This hybridization is called sp2 hybridization. Now, for the sp2 hybridization, let us consider the 2p orbitals as 2pz and 2py. Let us consider the two orbitals as 2pz and 2py. Now for the diagram on which the s orbital and p orbital gets overlapped to form respective hybrid orbitals. So now if you consider for the x and y axis, and let this be the z axis and this be the y axis and this being x axis, that is perpendicular to the plane of the board. Now for the 2s orbital, the 2s orbital will be of this particular shape, that is always spherical. Okay, so it is always be spherical in this particular direction. So I am going to write it on red color. Okay, the 2s orbital on red color. It is spherical, that means it is always having a positive charge throughout the s orbital. Now for the two 2p orbitals, the first 2p, that is 2pz. The 2pz orbital will be in this particular direction. Okay, so here what we observe is one of the lobe will be positive and other lobe will be negative. So let us keep it in this form. The shaded lobe will be in positive and the unshaded lobe will be negative. Okay, or you can take this as negative and this is positive lobe. So this is z axis, y axis. Now again you need to consider one more lobe, that is in the pz orbital, 2pz, so which has orbital lobe in this particular direction. So let this be the negative end and this be the positive. So this is y axis and this is z axis. So now if you consider that these three lobes, s orbital will always be positive, p lobe will be having two ends, one with a positive, one with a negative. Similarly py, this is py orbital, which will be having one positive end and one negative end. So as I had explained in the previous video itself, when you take a positive end and add these two, okay, so now what I am going to do is I am going to write all these three in a single coordinate system. I'm going to write all these three orbitals in a single axis of coordinate system. So then it will be like, so this is Z axis, this is Y axis. Now for the first one, let us consider the Z axis of Py orbital, which will be in this particular direction, right? This being shaded off like this, Py orbital. Next we have Pz orbital, which will be in this particular direction. So this is the negative end. And now we have the S orbital, which is at the origin, at the center. Okay. So this will be the case of sp3, sp2 orbitals of boron. sp2 orbitals of boron. When you observe these three particular lobes of S, P and Y, that is S, 2py and 2pz orbitals, get combined with one another, we come across three cases. In one, where the positive py and positive pz are on the same side. So we come across, we need to form three sp2 hybrid orbitals, right? So in the first case, both positive and positive, py and pz, both positive will be on the one side. In the other case, py, pz will be both negative, and in one case, one of them will be positive and one of them will be negative in this particular order. So therefore, when you treat s orbital with these three particular lobes of px, py and pz, so in which case if it is both positive, it will be in one particular direction. In one case it will be both negative, it will be in a different direction. And in one case, one of them will be positive and the other one will be negative. So therefore, we will be forming three sp2 hybrid orbitals. Okay. So in one sp2 hybrid orbital, both p will be positive. In the other sp2 hybrid orbital, both p will be negative. In one sp2 hybrid orbital, one of them will be positive and the other will be negative. So therefore, leading to the formation of three sp2 hybrid orbital. And further, these three sp2 hybrid orbitals will be in a plane. So now, if you consider these three, S, P and Z, S, Py and Pz orbitals, these are on the plane of the board, right? So these all are on the plane of the board. So now, what happens is, one of these lobes will be aligned themselves in one angle. So the three lobes which are present, that is the three hybrid orbital of sp2, all of them will be present in the same plane. All those three sp2 hybrid orbitals should be present in the same plane, and it should be having a minimum repulsion and a maximum distance from one another. So if you consider this as the plane of the py, pz, sp2 orbital, py, pz and s orbital, then what happens is, one of the lobe will be present in this particular direction. Okay, one will be present in this direction, and one will be present in this particular direction. So the direction of this is clearly depending upon the positive, negative and negative charges of the py, pz orbital. So therefore, clearly, if this is the p plus orbital resulted because of the s and positive of one of the orbital, so it will be in this particular direction, and its smaller one will be in this direction. Similarly, this orbital's negative end will be present over here. So if I write it in LO, you can clearly clear that. So the three negative orbitals of py and pz will be in particular direction, whereas the positive lobes will be in these directions. So this is how the sp2 hybrid orbitals will be forming in a geometry. Since one of these are in, all these three are in the same plane, so the bond angle between these 3 orbitals will be 120 degree. 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 120 de Okay, because 120 degree is the maximum type at which they form a minimum repulsion and as a maximum distance from one another. So bond angle of these three lobes will be 120 degree, and for the compound of boron trichloride, the chlorine's p orbital will be aligning themselves in this particular axis to form BCl3 compound. Okay, so this will be the formation of BCl3 molecule with sp3 hybridization, BCl, Cl and Cl. So with the bond angle of 120 degree. So this is about the sp2 hybridization. Okay, so now we'll discuss about sp3 hybridization. So we are done with sp and sp2 hybridization. So next we'll be considering about the sp3 hybridization. So for consideration of sp3 hybridization, let us take an example of methane molecule, that is CH4. So the carbon in this case is of the form electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p2 in the ground state, and in the excited state this will be 1s2, 2s1, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. Okay, 2s1, 2px1, 2py1 and 2pz1. So now the carbon here undergoes sp3 hybridization, that is because of 1 2s orbital and 3 2p orbitals. 1 2s orbital and 3 2p orbital leading to the sp3 hybridization. So the sp3 hybridization of this particular carbon molecule will be giving us 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Will be giving us 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Okay, so if you consider for the pure atomic orbitals, what we get confused in case of the CH4 molecule according to the valence bond theory will be the 3 sp2 hybrid orbital which of px, py, pz will be in the same plane. It will be of the bond angle of 90 degree for 4 orbitals. But if you consider for the sp3 hybridization through 4 sp3 hybrid orbital, so clearly we have 4 bond directionalization. So as we had discussed about the hybridization of atomic orbitals, they have particular direction in the 3D space. Therefore, these 4 sp3 hybrid orbital will be directed in the phase in the 3D dimension in a shape of tetrahedral geometry. So now how is this going to be formed? So that is nothing but 4 hybrid orbitals, each of them present in 4 directions. So if you consider the first one, the first lobe will be in this geometry, the second lobe will be towards you, the third one away from you, and the fourth one in the same plane. So these 4 lobes are just like these 4 particular chalk pieces. So this will be the one bond, the top lobe which is in this direction, this will be the lobe which is towards you, and this will be the lobe which will be away from you in this particular direction, and this one will be the lobe which is present in the plane and towards me. Okay, so this will be the one which is in the top. This lobe which are written in the right hand side of this particular term will be this lobe which is present behind us. Okay, the behind one, and this will be the forward, this one, and this will be the one which is present in this direction. Okay, so these are the 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals of carbon in sp3 hybridization. So when a molecule is undergoing an sp3 hybridization, it will be forming 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals which are present in a tetrahedral shape. This particular shape of the compound is called tetrahedral geometry. This particular shape is called the tetrahedral geometry, where the bond angle of carbon and carbon bonds, carbon, hydrogen, carbon bonds will be 109 degree 28 minutes. The bond angle of carbon, hydrogen, carbon and hydrogen, carbon bonds will be of 109 degree 28 minutes with one another. In case of the valence bond theory, if you consider for the hybridization or the lobes overlapping, we said that carbon-hydrogen-carbon bond will be of the bond angle of 90 degree because it might be forming a square planar geometry. But due to the presence of 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals explained under the hybridization concept, these lobes will be present at a bond angle of 109 degree 28 minutes. So this is about the sp3 hybridization. Now, as I said in the conditions for sp3 hybridization concept, we said that there is no requirement or there is no necessary condition for a half-filled orbital to form a hybridization. As I said, there is no particular condition where just half-filled orbital should be forming an hybridization. There might be some cases where completely filled orbitals may also form hybridization. Okay, completely filled orbitals may also undergo hybridization. Therefore, let us consider two particular examples where we have completely filled hybrid or completely filled orbitals which undergoes hybridization. That is, for example, of ammonia and water molecule. Ammonia and water molecule, each of them respectively have 1 and 2 lone pair of electrons on the central atom. Ammonia has 1 lone pair of electron, whereas water molecule has 2 lone pair of electrons on oxygen. Okay, in ammonia, nitrogen has 1 lone pair of electron, and in case of water molecule, oxygen has 2 lone pair of electrons. So now, if you compare these two with one another, the electronic configuration of nitrogen will be 1s2, 2px1, 2py1, 2pz1. So here, with the 3p orbitals of 2, with the 2p orbitals of nitrogen, the completely filled s orbital may also undergo hybridization. In case of nitrogen, along with the half-filled orbitals of nitrogen, half-filled 2p orbitals, half-filled 2p orbitals of nitrogen, the completely filled 2s orbital will also undergo hybridization to form sp3 hybridization. To form sp3 hybridization, where we observe to form 4 sp3 hybrid orbital. Therefore, ammonia should be forming a tetrahedral geometry. Ammonia should be forming tetrahedral geometry where one of the tetrahedral positions is occupied by the lone pair of electron. Where one of the tetrahedral position will be occupied by lone pair of electron. Similarly, in case of water molecule, if you write down the electronic configuration, it has 2 electrons in 2s and 4 electrons in 2p. Here, what happens is 2 of the completely filled 1 2s and 1 of the p orbital gets involved in the hybridization to form sp3 hybridization. Get involved in the hybridization to form sp3 hybrid orbitals, and where we observe that 2 of the tetrahedral positions, out of the 4 tetrahedral positions, 2 positions will be occupied by the 2 completely filled paired electrons, that is nothing but the lone pair of electron. So therefore, oxygen in water molecule should also form tetrahedral geometry, right? But 2 of those positions of the tetrahedral spots will be occupied by lone pair of electron. Now, so it is clear it will be forming a tetrahedral geometry, but what we come across over here is the bond angle of these two bonds, the bond angle of oxygen hydrogen and oxygen hydrogens, whereas in case of nitrogen hydrogen, nitrogen hydrogen are quite different when compared to the actual tetrahedral bond angle. That is, the bond angle of nitrogens and hydrogens in ammonia is 107 degree, whereas the bond angle of hydrogen oxygen hydrogen is 104 degree, which is quite clearly less than that of the bond angle of tetrahedral methane group. This reason is because of the lone pair repulsion. As we have discussed in the earlier classes, the lone pair repulsion is quite greater than lone pair bond pair repulsion, which is quite greater than bond pair repulsion. So clearly, so if we consider for ammonia, we experience 3 lone pair bond pair repulsion, that is this lone pair with Ha, this lone pair electrons with Hb, and the lone pair repulsion with Hc. Okay, so we observe 3 lone pair bond pair repulsion, and further the bond pair repulsion among the HA-Hb, Hb-Hc and HA-Hc are quite less when compared to the lone pair bond pair repulsion. These 3 bonds, which are actually formed in a tetrahedral geometry, will shrink towards themselves and result in the bond angle of 107 degree. Okay, they result in the bond angle of 107 degree between the hydrogen, nitrogen and hydrogen bonds. In case of oxygen, since there is 2 lone pair of electron, there will be 3 types of repulsion happening. Those are lone pair repulsion between these 2 lone pair electrons, lone pair repulsion between those 2 lone pair electrons, lone pair bond pair repulsion between these 2 bonds, and further bond pair repulsion between the 2 hydrogens. So since there is 3 different types of repulsions possible, these 2 lone pair electrons will be possessing in an opposite direction, will be moving in an opposite direction, which result in shrinking of the hydrogen-hydrogen bond. Therefore, the bond angle of HOH, which was supposed to be 109 degree, will be 104 degree. So if we consider for the hybridization of sp3, in case of 3 different examples, CH4, which has just bond pair electrons, you will be having 109 degree 28 minutes of bond angle. NH3, which has sp3 hybridization but 1 lone pair electron along with 3 bond pair electron, will be of bond angle 107 degree. And water molecule, which is of the sp3 hybridization but it has 2 lone pair electron and 2 bond pair electron, the bond angle will be 104 degree. So clearly we can say that more the number of lone pair of electrons in a given particular hybridization, less will be the bond angle. So therefore, according to the repulsion theories, lone pair repulsion is quite greater when compared to lone pair bond pair, which is quite greater than bond pair repulsion. Therefore, the bond angle of CH4 NH3 H2O decreases with respect to one another because of the lone pair repulsion, lone pair bond pair repulsion, which we observe in water and ammonia respectively, which is not clearly found in case of CH4 molecule, which does not have any lone pair of electrons. Okay, so this is completely about the hybridization concept. We have discussed sp hybridization, sp2 hybridization and sp3 hybridization. In the next video, we will discuss some more examples of sp3 and sp2 hybridization, and also we will discuss about the hybridization of orbitals which involves d orbitals. If you had understood this concept, please subscribe to my channel and share this video among your friends, and thank you for watching.